what's the approach this spring? The main focus?
Well, you know, we feel like we're making some strides to, you know, taking that next step, and you know, we've just been talking about that as kids. You know, the kids, we feel like we've proven that we kind of have accomplished the goals that we set for ourselves the last couple of years. Now we got to take that next step, and I really think either this coming year or the next year, I think we're going to be physically good enough to make that next step. We got enough depth with the freshmen coming in. The 25 guys we have really fill up the depth for the D line and the O line, which we've been, you know, saying all along. We're holding on to our rear ends every game. You know, you don't lose somebody, and so I think we really are getting close to doing that. And now it's time for the kids to start believing that that's going to happen.
Talking about the depth, you're still a year away probably from last year. You were talking about how you like in spring to have the older guys kind of watch and introduce the younger guys. A year away from that still? Well,
we've done it in a few positions.
Okay.
Like Jeremy Johnson, I mean, I already know what D's can do, so Jeremy's going to take all the #1 spots at Y. We're doing that with Darryl Fields at running back. Zach has a little bit of a back issue, so I don't even want to mess with this spring. I already know he can play, so we're going to give Darryl and Kevin a lot of reps at both sides of the ball. You weren't here yesterday. Darryl's going to be on offense first 8 days, and then Kevin, we're going to flip him to defense because, you know, we only play a one-back system, so I got to get those guys on the field somehow. They both played defense in high school, so we're going to look at defense too.
Where will he play on defense?
Outside linebacker Darryl and inside linebacker Kevin.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were all for that?
Oh yeah. Well, no, they want to get on the field. Yeah, and they know, you know, like I said, we're in a one-back deal. Both of them, we're good defensive players in high school, so they understand. They want to contribute on special teams. They're team guys, and you know, all that's positive.
Any other position changes? Sorry, Steve.
I think not really. Not really. Yeah.
You mentioned the older guys sort of teaching the younger guys. Is that maybe more important on the offensive line, where you're going to graduate 6 guys next year?
Well, it's it's always that way, because once the offensive line, you know, men, whoever they are, it doesn't matter if they're juniors or sophomores, you know, they have, when you have depth, they already played and they already know what they're doing. You kind of don't want to risk them getting hurt either. So it doesn't matter if they're seniors or not, just that they're veteran guys, and that's kind of been my philosophy all along.
What's the biggest impact or addition by the return of Joshua Rivas?
Well, the biggest impact has been that he's not 350 pounds, you know, and he's gotten serious for the first time in his life about playing football. And you know, we always felt all along that he had a chance to go to the next level, but you know, a chance is not a very big chance if you're not willing to make the sacrifice to get in shape to go do that. He has probably applied himself more than anybody we had. Doesn't even look like the same guy, you know. So.
I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
He's
Last
wearing
year
sleeveless shirts now. What changed? Was it something you and Coach Clem have been sort of beating on him, or is?
Well, we've been pounding, you know, saying all along, and you know, I think it's usually just it's a personal, you know, decision you got to make, and you know, I guess he finally realized that this is going to be the last opportunity he has, and he realized how much he missed it last year not being part of it.
How's Kyle doing just in terms of his health? I thought maybe he had.
Yeah, he had an ankle swell up a little bit throughout the workouts from last year in that East Carolina game, where he tweaked it, and his hand is fine.
Okay.
Looks like he's throwing the ball real good, and he'll be a year older and wiser and be competitive. I thought, you know, the young quarterback, you know, even though his head is swimming, he's made some real good throws just so far. And JJ's back was the first time he threw was yesterday, so he just hasn't, you know, hasn't had the chance to practice with and do all the weightlifting and training as much as the other guys. But he's lost a little weight too and throwing the ball pretty well.
JJ threw a lot more today. It looked, does that mean he didn't have any soreness or?
He was sore yesterday, he told me. But I told him to do what you can do, and you know, you're the only judge of knowing whether it's tightening up or getting sore. So, you know, we're not really throwing 7-on-7s and all that stuff right now. So, you know, just get yourself ready for that. That's really what he's trying to do.
So at this point in Kyle's progression, where should he be? I mean, what does he need to get out of spring when he's been doing this for the last couple of years?
Well, I think you always got a chance to get better in pretty much everything you do, and all seeing more, getting the whole look of the whole defense, knowing where everybody is. That is what a quarterback does, and that's what you see on TV on Sundays from a Brady or a Manning. They know where everybody is and where they're supposed to be, and that's what you got to do. He's had some success in what we're doing. Now he's got to take it to the next step and understand the concepts and understand that certain throws he threw last year, he's got to know where the defenders are. Even though we tell him it's going to be open, he's still got to feel that it's a window closed and go to the next window. Those are the decisions you got to make.
Receivers wise, Aldrin first. Darius is out here. Is his eligibility okay for him?
Yes, Darius is fine, and Terrence has been out here. He was out here earlier. I don't know if you saw him. Hopefully he'll make his grades too, and then Derek and Keenan have looked good, and then some of those freshmen are going to have to step in like Darius did his first year and back up and contribute by week 3, 4, and 5.
Another guy missing the spring, Margus Hunt, is still only 2 years into his football life. How much does he get set back by sitting out this?
Well, if he was if he was not a real smart guy, then I'd be concerned because it's all reps. But he's pretty smart, and he got better and better, and once we get to training camp, he'll pick it up where he left off last year. I'm not too concerned about that.
He had surgery.
Yeah, he had a labrum, old one from throwing, I guess. When he's throwing the disc.
He probably has like 4 torn labrums.
Yeah, he probably does. Nobody knows.